The Mahindra Scorpio has completed 20 years in the Indian market, becoming just one of 5 badges to achieve such a huge milestone. Well, on the 20th anniversary, Mahindra chose to launch the Scorpio-N, the latest generation of the vehicle, and a big step up from the car that it succeeded. While the Scorpio-N stole the limelight with numbers like 1 lakh bookings in 30 minutes, Mahindra had also announced that the current Scorpio would continue as a Scorpio Classic and would be launched later in the year. After various information leaks and multiple spy shots, the car's finally here in the metal. What's new and what's changed? Let's find out. Are you enjoying the content on our channel? Then do show us some love by hitting those like, share and subscribe buttons, and also hitting that bell icon the instant we put out a new video. The Mahindra Scorpio Classic will be offered in 2 variants, Classic S and Classic S11. Mahindra has said that these were the 2 most popular choices among buyers when it came to this SUV, and they were retained for the Classic. On offer is Mahindra's new Gen 2.2-litre diesel engine mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. There are 6 color options, including a new one called Galaxy Grey. For all the details on the Mahindra Scorpio Classic, do visit our website carwale.com. What are the 2 terms that I can use to sum up the exterior design of the Scorpio Classic? I think the right terms for this would be iconic and familiar. Why? Well, let's look at it this way. Today we use the term Xerox to refer to all forms of photocopying, and in the same way, if you say Scorpio, people think straight of this SUV, and Mahindra has played well into that by retaining everything that's familiar and iconic about this car, like the boxy shape, but adding new elements to bring it into their new design language and new thought philosophy. So up front, you get Mahindra's new logo and grille, a new bumper, new LED DRLs, a new skid plate, and this, which was originally a DRL, is now what Mahindra calls the angry eyebrows and kind of adds an aggressive look to the overall front appearance of the vehicle. On the side, the Scorpio retains its boxy silhouette that it is so well known for, but now with a new design for the 17-inch diamond cut alloy wheels and a redesigned side cladding. Now, not much has changed at the rear, and in fact there are only 2 to 3 major elements. One is of course that there's a classic badge here that's been added to the Scorpio and the S11. The second is of course the new Mahindra logo that replaces the older one. The position is exactly the same. The third is that in the pre-facelift car, this was black cladding on the sides. It was there in 2014, it was there in 2017 too. It's now been changed to red reflectors. The Scorpio Classic will be made available in 3 seating configurations, a 7-seat layout with 2 side-facing seats in the 3rd row, a 7-seat layout with captain seat 2nd row, a first for the Scorpio Classic, and a 9-seat model with seating for 4 persons in the 3rd row. In this case, the 9-seat version will be made early available with the base Classic S trim. Step inside the cabin of the Scorpio Classic, and the first thing you notice is that everything looks and feels familiar, and that's because this is essentially an update for the Scorpio range. You get a beige and black cabin with this quilted pattern on the seats and fabric seats throughout the range. You get these 4 wood inserts in the center console and leather wrap for the steering wheel, and these gloss black inserts here in the center console, above the glove box door and on the doors also. The large Scorpio badge that was there in the previous car has now been replaced by one in metal in the corner there. Now, one of the major highlights of the cabin update is a new touchscreen infotainment system. Previously, the car had a 7-inch unit with the buttons on the side. This has no buttons and is now 9 inches in size. Now, this touchscreen system gets phone mirroring, Bluetooth connectivity, aux, and a USB connection, but no Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is surprising considering that cars both above and below the Scorpio Classic now get it as a standard fitment. Most of the feature list is unchanged from the previous S11 model. Additions to this include front and rear armrests, an auto-up function for the driver's window, a sunglasses holder, a one-touch lane indicator, and what Mahindra calls an extended power window function that lets you operate the power windows for up to 25 seconds once the key has been removed from the car. Here is the complete feature list for both the Classic S and Classic S11 trim. We are here in the second row of the Scorpio Classic, and initial impressions across all three rows point out to more than sufficient headroom, legroom and knee room, given that the dimensions of the car haven't changed from the previous one and it was quite spacious to begin with. However, that's something we'll only be able to tell you once we actually drive the car and get to spend more time with it. Now, features here include phone holders behind both seats, a seat back pocket for the left side seat, rear AC vents, 1 liter bottle holders in both the doors and fold holders in the side of the door. Both rear seats in this captain seat configuration get their own armrests, and there's a space here to access the third row. Now I'm here in the third row of the Mahindra Scorpio Classic, and as I said before, the dimensions are unchanged from the previous car, so you get the same amount of space inside. Now you can see that my knees are quite forward and I'm sitting high, one because the seats are positioned in that way, and two because the floor is quite high, so you get really poor under thigh support. But then again, Mahindra themselves have said that most people that use the third row of the Scorpio are usually being transported around, which is what the 9-seat version serves its main purpose for, or is a part of security detail for someone in power that needs to sit in the back and jump out of the car when it stops and they need to get out. Powering this Mahindra Scorpio Classic is Mahindra's 2.2 litre M-Hawk CR-DI engine that produces 130 bhp and 300 Nm of torque, and it is available only with a 6-speed manual gearbox. The gearbox has shifted from a mechanical linkage to a cable mechanism, which Mahindra says will make the shift smoother and with smaller throws. Both versions are rear-wheel drive with the all-wheel drive system only for the Scorpio-N. What's this engine like to use? Has it improved over the older one? And that's something we'll only be able to tell you once we drive the car. The pre-classic facelift for the Mahindra Scorpio is priced in the range of Rs 13.54 lakh to Rs 18.62 lakh ex-showroom. We expect a very minor increase in price considering that this is a new model with new features. Now, with the Scorpio and the Scorpio-N, Mahindra aims to cover a wider band in the D segment, and this car will take on the likes of the Kia Seltos, Hyundai Creta, MG Hector and the Tata Harrier. What do you think of the Mahindra Scorpio Classic? Do leave your thoughts in the comment section below and also on our social media channels. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.